कुकर बुलंद इतना कि Yes, so I wanted to hear it from you, half of it. So that
फादर की डेथ हुई है, लेकिन अभी जो एग्जिस्टिंग अभी जो बच्चा है जिसके नाम पे जमीन होनी चाहिए थी उसके नाम की जमीन नहीं है. And he is
I may recall the photographer hobby of Three Idiot person. One of that person was there. Who was? What was the name of that person? Farhan. So you know that father mother, they were scolding him like anything. But finally.
ऐसा लगता है पता नहीं कोई तूफान चीज होगा, कोई रॉकेट साइंस. आई विल टेल यू दिस एग्जाम इज 100 times easier than the IIT JEE exam that we used to write, or even probably PMT exam that we used to write.
Sir, there is a emotional problem. Do you think, or do I think, or do anyone think here that you will be able to ask this question when other students are also standing?
There are three things which are important for whatever you do and for these exams as well. Now, what are these three things? First is why, second is what, and third is how. Okay, so I'm emphasizing on this framework. A lot of you are research scholars. To conceptualize anything, that structure, that framework is important. So just keep these three things in mind. So that's how I would want to tell this story of IAS or UPSC to you. First thing is why. It is extremely important to have clarity in that. Why is it important? I'll tell you my own story. I was in class 12th, class 10th, 11th. My parents wanted me to become a doctor. I wanted to become an engineer. So biology भी ले लिया, maths भी ले लिया. And even till the last day, there was no idea कि मुझे whether I want to pursue medicine, whether I want to pursue engineering. And then eventually I wrote first the PMT. We had JKCT here. I joined medical college for a while, government medical college. But then I I wasn't very happy there, and I left and joined IIT Mandi, did electrical engineering there. IIT में भी 3 साल 4 साल हुए. Then we had some pre-placement offers. I was almost about to join a multinational. And then again, वहाँ पहुँच के almost join करने के बाद, you're still not very clear what you want to do. और उस समय, then I thought, okay, maybe civil services is one option that I must look forward to. Now, having this kind of a confusion and this kind of a chaos is extremely normal and extremely important to have in life. किसी बच्चे को just you are graduating, so बहुत मुश्किल होता है ये clarity अपने आप आना कि मुझे आगे क्या करना है. So one definitely explores. Now how does one explore? One tries to understand what is the work profile, क्या काम है, इसके साथ मैं क्या contribute कर सकता हूँ, मेरे objectives में, मेरे life goals में, where would it fit in. Say somebody wants to earn a lot of money, so then he knows that this is certainly not the place. क्योंकि किसी भी सही तरीके से कोई भी जो है, it's a regular government job with a normal salary. Then obviously he looks after other options. There is business, which is a well respected career in itself. No offenses on that. Somebody else wants to pursue maybe some career in academics, उस किसी को लिखने में बड़ा अच्छा मज़ा आता है, then why should he be in such a job, such a profession where he may not get so much of an opportunity to write. So it is very important to have clarity and understanding what a civil servant does. Now what do we mean by civil servant? For example, अगर हम UPSC एग्ज़ाम की बात करते हैं, so UPSC में some get to join the Indian Administrative Service, some get to join the Indian Foreign Service, some get to join the Indian Police Service, some get to join the Indian Revenue Service. Similarly, other services are there, and the job profile is quite diverse. So the work that an IAS officer does is very different from what probably a Indian Revenue Service officer does. एक अलग एक specific domain है. IAS is more of a generalist work. So one, that before starting, as you are proceeding with your preparation have some sort of a clarity and understanding on what is civil services all about, what kind of a job it is. आप किसी डॉक्टर के साथ बात करेंगे, it's a highly noble and a respected profession, and they will tell you a lot about what a doctor does. Okay? Similarly, किसी इंजीनियर से बात करेंगे, वो आपको अपना एक पर्सपेक्टिव दे देगा. So I just want to give you a little perspective about what I found this civil services is about. Okay? So first of all, it's a leadership position. It's a management position. There are very few things that you do yourself. For example, अगर मैं इस समय am district magistrate in a district, it is not that I have to do everything. But there are teams, there are departments. So there would be R&B department working on roads. There would be health department working in hospitals. There would be education department. There are teachers, there are principals who are looking after the schools. There are colleges, so on and so forth. Now my job is not to go to a college and teach. But my job, it's a leadership position, it's a management position, where the responsibility is to ensure that every department, every institution functions well, and the service delivery, the public service delivery is to the best or the best extent possible. Okay, so it's again managing people. There are hundreds and thousands of people, thousands of government employees who work for you, right from a class 4th employee to maybe an additional district magistrate in a district. So you have to manage that entire population, that entire workforce. So it's about managing people. So that is why, in fact, when you are selected in IAS during your 2 years of training, you are also given a master's degree from Jawaharlal Nehru University. It's called Masters in Public Management. So it's essentially about leadership, it is essentially about motivating people, it's essentially about supervision, it's essentially about management. That is what one has to understand. Okay, so A, it's a leadership role. Second, it's an opportunity where you're working for the people. So in private sector, you work for profit. In some other profession, so every profession has a certain clientele, certain base. Here, the clientele, the objective is for public. Whatever you do, it is for people. You are there, you are a public servant. That is why the word public, and that is why the word servant. That is what you are at the end of the day. So it is about public service. There's a lot of satisfaction that you get out of this opportunity where you are there helping people out. मैं कुछ छोटी examples बता दूंगा. For example, on a typical day, say I meet maybe in my office 200, 250, 300 people come to see. Now somebody has a land somewhere, okay, he wants to sell it, but he does not have a proper document for that, or the patwari has not done a proper intikal of that. Father की death हुई है, लेकिन अभी जो existing अभी जो बच्चा है जिसके नाम पे ज़मीन होनी चाहिए थी उसके नाम की ज़मीन नहीं है, and he is being running from pillar to post, but his job is not done. Somebody belongs to a very poor family, he or she deserves to be in a priority household, in a BPL category, so as to say, but his or her name is not in that category. They want their ration card to be re-verified and their category to be changed. Similarly, somebody lives in a place like Waltengu or Kond, and they are saying that there's a hamlet where around say 200 families, 300 families live, but there is no road to that place. They want the simple benefit from you, the simple help from you that a road should be constructed to that place. Similarly, there may be somebody else from a place called Zangalpura or somebody else. He's saying that my house is next to river Jhelum or river Vesho, and our entire village is flood prone, and we want a simple embankment to be constructed on our side so that our habitation, our village gets protected from the floods. Similarly, there may be other person, he comes to you and says that I live in this particular place, the person whose house is next to mine or whose orchard is next to mine is a big landlord, is a rich man, and he has been forcing me to either sell my land to him, or he has been encroaching into my land, and the moment I am objecting to it, he is resorting to violence, he is threatening me out, please help me out, please secure me so that I can live peacefully next to this big bully. Similarly, there are a lot of students who might have applied for a job. Now they want their character certificate or a verification certificate to be issued, OBC certificate, an SC, a caste certificate, or category certificate to be issued to them timely. So that's the kind of people come to you, that's the kind of work they expect from you. Now it's very rare, I would say, that there are professions and jobs where this kind of interaction you have with people, where this kind of service you can do to the people. There are every day, there's something called a Red Cross. You have a Red Cross fund here also. Now in the district there's something called as a district level Red Cross committee, and a district magistrate chairs that Red Cross committee. Now what does this Red Cross fund do, or this committee do? There's a fire incident somewhere, say 5 families are affected. Now all the 5 families after this fire, they have no place to go, they have nothing to eat because it's all burned down. They need something immediate assistance. Now how do you ensure that within next half an hour after the fire incident, at least that household gets 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees, so that their kambal, their tentage or etc. can be taken care of. That comes from your Red Cross is one immediate resource that you have. So similarly, there is SDRF, there's a flood, you have to go and ensure that flood management is done. There was COVID, so you have to ensure that people are protected, so on and so forth. This is the kind of work that you do, that you are expected to do. Similarly, and it's what is very interesting and I would say very remarkable, that you are pushed to this first chair or to this most important leadership position in the district at a very young age. So at the age of 24, 25, 26, in 20s, there are very rare such opportunities that you would be looking after such a huge district, maybe more than 1 million population. Some of the districts in India are bigger than some of the European countries. So you're literally looking after people and populations bigger than some of the smaller countries in Western Europe. Now that's the kind of role. Similarly, I'll go a little bit to my previous role where I was working in Srinagar as CEO Smart City and Municipal Commissioner. Again, it's an opportunity, it was the kind which I could not have ever imagined. How many of you have travelled in the red buses that are running in Srinagar? Are they good? Okay. So this was the biggest project that Srinagar Smart City has implemented in Srinagar. We wanted to introduce public transport. It was literally building a new department altogether, having a system of buses in the city. We did not have a public transport in the city. All of you must be reading about European cities, you must be reading about cities, how congestion, how traffic jams are crumbling every city, and how it is difficult for people to move around the cities. Wherever you go, if it is American cities, if it is European cities, if it is Asian cities, the congestion and traffic is such a mess that you can't move. And what are the options available to people? Very few. The most, I think, well accepted solution to traffic congestion is public transport. So that people can use buses, people can use trains, people can use public transport to move. A bus carries at least say 50 people or 40 people in a single vehicle. That 50 people, that one bus will be equivalent to at least another 40 cars. So that one bus can replace another 40 cars. So similarly, you talk about vibrancy in the city. There's a lot that, how many of you have visited Polo View? Is it a better place? Is it a walkable place? Okay, how many of you have seen the Lal Chowk new, and how many have seen it a few years back? So I remember I had joined here in year 2021, and one fine evening we went to Lal Chowk, and at around 7 o'clock it was completely shut. There was an old Gantagar, it had a huge concertina wire around it, if somebody remembers. Shops are closed and there are those broken traffic barricades or traffic posts placed everywhere. There's a bunker in the middle of the Lal Chowk, there's a bunker near that Palladium cinema, and all shops are closed at 7 o'clock. Now at what time does Lal Chowk close this time? It keeps on, it stays open till around 11, 12. So that was the idea, that you go into any city, if you go to any place, if somebody goes to Goa, he may visit a beach in the day, then in the evening he wants to come to the city center, he wants to come to a marketplace. Somebody goes to Delhi, फिर शाम को mall जाना चाहते हो, you do a work, so you go to Mumbai, you may do some work, in the evening you want to come to a city place, come to a city center. That is what was the objective. That Srinagar should not be only about, say, 1 or 2 Mughal gardens. So tourists are coming, it's a tourist city, let them visit the Dal Lake and places in the day, and in the evening they should come back to the city center where economy thrives, where your shops thrive, where your markets thrive. Similarly, there's one thing which I personally wanted to, I think specifically also focused on, was walkability. A standard, gold standard of any good city is how easy and how convenient it is for you to walk. So that is why you see bigger walkways at many places. That is why you see a lot of places where traffic was closed and we said, let these be walking places. Walkability is something, it's a how many people have cars? A lot of us. But the cars belong to the upper strata. It belongs to the rich, upper middle class. When it comes to the poor person, he has to rely on public transport. He has to rely on walking. That's again why walking in public infrastructure is important. Similarly, has somebody walked from Nishat to Hazratbal? Any of you? Okay, so I remember it was a 1.5 feet wide footpath. And now it's around 14 or 16 feet on an average wide walking and a cycling space that you have. It is in fact one of the largest lake fronts in the country right now. Has anybody seen the Rajbagh riverfront? Convent Road. It used to be called Convent Road because nobody could see the river, because the river was literally non-existent. But right now it has become a very good public space. So just enumerating a few examples, that these are the things that you can do. Gantagar is made once in maybe 50 years, 100 years. How many of you have seen the new Gantagar? All of you. How many have seen the old Gantagar? I remember when we had seen the old Gantagar, जब उस समय उस Gantagar में घंटा भी नहीं था. It did not have even a clock. Correct? Am I right? Now it did not have a clock. Now if you see the new Gantagar, if you see its design, if you see if you see the finial, the top of it, see how architecture पढ़ते हुए आपके यहाँ पे, how it has been inspired by the Buddhist architecture, the Sufi Muslim architecture, the Hindu architecture, how it ensembles and integrates all of that. See the kind of brick that is used. See the kind of clocks that are there. See the motifs inside those clocks. Everything done to the detail. Why? Because these are iconic spaces. These are the places which define, by which you represent. Now, we got an opportunity to do this because the civil services, because of the opportunity that was provided to us. Right? So, this is a little context I wanted to give it to you, that what is possible, or what kind of a role, what kind of a work that you are expected to do, or that you are allowed to do. Now then it again depends on how much interested you are. It then depends on that, how much more forward you want to take it. Now, so this is the why part. Why to join civil services, or why to join IAS. This is one perspective that I wanted to give to you out of my own experience. Now let's go to the another part, that is what. Now किसी भी एग्ज़ाम को क्लियर करने के लिए या किसी भी चीज़ को परस्यू करने के लिए इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट टू हैव अ वेरी क्लियर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट इट इज़, ये है क्या. नाउ इस एग्ज़ाम के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में व्हाट का मतलब क्या हुआ. ए, यू शुड बी वेरी थॉरो एंड क्लियर विद द सिलेबस ऑफ द एग्ज़ाम. इनफैक्ट जब आप ये सिलेबस और ये पुराने पेपर देखते हैं तो एग्ज़ाम अपने आप आपके लिए डीमिस्टिफाई हो जाता है. ऐसे लगता है पता नहीं कोई तूफान चीज़ होगा, कोई रॉकेट साइंस. आई विल टेल यू दिस एग्ज़ाम इज़ 100 times easier than the IIT JEE exam that we used to write, or even probably PMT exam that we used to write. और so एग्ज़ाम मुश्किल नहीं है, बट जब आप एग्ज़ाम का सिलेबस देखेंगे, जब आप एग्ज़ाम का जो ओल्ड पुराने पेपर देखेंगे तो ये चीज़ें आपके लिए डिमिस्टिफाई हो जाएंगी, आपको ईजी लगेगा. इनफैक्ट आप GS पेपर 1 देखेंगे, आपको पहले लगेगा ये तो मैंने स्कूल में ही पढ़ा है. हिस्ट्री है, there are questions like reasons for revolt of 1857, how it was suppressed, या ancient history के questions हैं, geography के questions हैं, which you must have or you might have read very well in your school itself. Similarly आप पेपर 2 देखते हैं, उसमें जो है पॉलिटी है, पॉलिटी में क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं, you must have read most of it. So एग्ज़ाम सिलेबस में जितना ज़्यादा as much as I can emphasize on that, I should, कि एग्ज़ाम सिलेबस और पुराने पेपर्स दे शुड बी योर गाइडिंग लाइट. दिस इज हाउ यू डू. नाउ हाउ डज इट हेल्प? इट हेल्प्स इन मेनी वेज. Number 1, you get a clear understanding, clear big picture, bird's eye view of what this exam is, what and how much I have to read. Number 1. Number 2, it helps you plan, it helps you, you know that you have, say अगर आप आज से तैयारी करते हैं अगले साल के लिए, आपके लिए roughly you have a year with you, 11 months with you. So आपको पता है 11 months में मुझे ये सारा सिलेबस कंप्लीट करना है. You can also map your study material, कि मुझे पेपर A में ये किताबें हैं तो मुझे इसके कौन कौन से मॉड्यूल्स कहाँ कहाँ से सोर्स करने हैं. यू कैन इजीली डिफाइन दैट. नंबर 4, इट इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट टू नो व्हाट नॉट टू रीड, क्योंकि जितना वास्ट इसका सिलेबस है तो यू शुड, इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट नॉट ओनली टू नो व्हाट यू हैव टू रीड, ऑल्सो व्हाट यू नीड नॉट रीड. नाउ हाउ डू आई एक्सप्लेन दिस? आप कोई न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ें, आप जब भी शुरू करेंगे हर कोई आपको कहेगा न्यूज़पेपर इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर दिस एग्जाम. यू रीड ए न्यूज़पेपर, से टेक इंडियन एक्सप्रेस और द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर. अगर आप हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ेंगे कितने पन्ने होंगे? नहीं 40 तो नहीं होते, 2 में से लेट्स से मानो लेट्स से न्यूज़पेपर हैज 20 पेजेस और 18 पेजेस, ठीक है, डिपेंड्स कौन सा डे है. नाउ अगर आप ये पूरे 20 के 20 पन्ने पढ़ने लग जाओगे तो आपको तो पूरा दिन सिर्फ वो न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने में लगेगा, राइट? नाउ जब आपने सिलेबस की क्लैरिटी दिमाग में रखी, यू नो दिस पर्टिकुलर न्यूज़ आइटम, दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर मी. प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज गॉन टू रशिया, so you know India Russia relations is an important topic in paper 2. It's an important topic in international relations. So you will track what happened, क्या हुआ, कौन से agreement sign हुए. So क्या what were the nickels and dimes, what were the outcomes of this visit. Somebody would have written, जाने से पहले या जाते समय somebody must have written an editorial on the newspaper giving a certain background and backdrop to India-Russia relations, how it started, how it evolved, how India-Russia became, what kind of friendship evolved, what kind of strategic partnership evolved between the two countries. Then when somebody might have written a news item, what to expect from this visit. Then once the visit is done, Prime Minister is now in Austria. Now what was done during this visit? So again you can read about it. So एग्ज़ाम सिलेबस से ये क्लैरिटी भी आपको आती है कि क्या मुझे पढ़ना है, क्या चीज़ नहीं पढ़नी है, राइट? थर्ड, इट्स ऑल्सो वे ऑफ स्मार्ट वर्क. नाउ व्हाट इज स्मार्ट वर्क? अगर आप पेपर 1 देखेंगे इसका मेंस का, देयर इज अ सर्टेन टॉपिक, सर्टेन एरिया कॉल्ड सोशल इश्यूज. ओके, नाउ इन सोशल इश्यूज यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट से चाइल्ड मैरिज, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट physical or abuse against women, you're talking about caste issues, you're talking about many other issues. So these are social issues that you read about. Then there's in the paper 2, there's a portion that we can roughly call as social justice, right? Now in this you read about what are the constitutional and legal provisions combating this. You'll read about SC/ST Act, you'll read about reservation, you will read about POCSO, you will read about other legal provisions that are available. That now if there is child marriage, so there is Child Marriage Prohibition Act. Now what is this act about? इसमें क्या है? So अगर आपने syllabus देखा होता है, you can make these linkages. So you understand that in paper 1 there's a question, there's a problem. In paper 2 you are reading about the solution to it. And in ethics paper you are using both. And in essay paper you are using the both. So that is how you contextualize. So second part that I wanted to emphasize on was on what of this exam. So exam को समझना बड़ा ज़रूरी है. Exam का syllabus download करें. Just whoever is serious, whoever wants to follow it, exam को syllabus को download करें. एक एक चीज़ को read it, underline it 10 times, 100 times. It should be at the back of your mind. See old papers, go through those old papers, check those old papers, see if you can write some answers to these old papers. This will demystify the exam for you. Okay? Then we come to the third part. The third part is now how do we move forward? Okay? So आगे बढ़ने के लिए 2-4 चीज़ें. सबसे important है again, it is the study material that you start with. Okay? So study material में हमारा जो एक starting point in general रहता है, that is the NCERT books. So mostly from your 8th to 12th NCERT books that you must have read in school or not read in school. That is the material that you start with. Now why do we do that? Somebody will say that मैं NCERT जो है history NCERT क्यों पढूं? Why can't I study some other standard text or material of a coaching institute? You can very well do that. उसमें भी कोई harm नहीं है. NCERT पढ़ने का सिर्फ एक फ़ायदा ये होता है, ख़ास तौर पे for students who are from science background or who have not, जिनको थोड़ा सा out of touch रहे हैं humanities से, उससे ये होता है it's very easy to pick up. It is very, you have already read this, तो थोड़ा सा आसान हो जाता है recall करने के लिए. A. B. It is also a fact that a lot of questions that are asked in the exam actually come directly from the NCERT books. So that way it helps. So study material अपना जो है तैयार करना है. Roughly NCERT books आप पढ़ते हैं. History के लिए maybe if it is, I'll just name a few books. This अगर कहीं पे somebody may remember. हिस्ट्री के लिए ऑल्सो रीड मॉडर्न स्पेक्ट्रम की एक मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री बुक आती है, वो पढ़ते हैं आप. वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री के लिए एक नॉर्मल लव करके बुक आती है, वेरी गुड बुक, यू रीड दैट. पॉलिटी के लिए अपार्ट फ्रॉम व्हाट यू आर रीडिंग, यू ऑल्सो रीड लक्ष्मीकांत, इट इज बिकम अ मस्ट. देन यू ऑल्सो रीड अ बेयर एक्ट, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का बेयर आर्टिकल्स हैं उनको ज़रूर पढ़ें. लक्ष्मीकांत विल नॉट गिव यू, उसमें मेंशन नहीं होते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा आर्टिकल्स, बट एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के मेन प्रोविजंस यू शुड नो. फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं, ओके, व्हाट आर द फंडामेंटल राइट्स, व्हिच सेक्शन रेफर्स, व्हाट डज आर्टिकल 21 से, व्हाट डज आर्टिकल 19 से. वो इम्पोर्टेंट हर सब कुछ याद नहीं करना है, बट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स यू नीड टू नो. वेयर आर डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स, व्हिच चैप्टर डील्स विद डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स. Similarly, there's an office of the Prime Minister, there's Council of Ministers. So कहाँ किस तरीके से वो डील करते हैं. There are some constitutional position. There is CAG. Okay, there is AG's office. Where do they derive their power from? Where does the civil services derive the power from? So क्या protections हैं civil servants को. इसी तरीके से जो लोकसभा है, राज्यसभा है, what are the provisions governing those. So you can so कुछ important चीज़ें हैं that you need to know. Similarly, there are a lot of cases which have transformed the way our understanding of constitution is. Keshwananda Bharati, you must have all heard of it. How basic structure was defined. Many more. Recently, you must have seen the Aruna Shanba case, where it was about euthanasia, which was about right to life. There's a certain set of cases before that. So बहुत सारे ऐसे cases हैं जिन cases की importance इतनी ज़्यादा है कि you have to know and understand them. Again, maybe you can read about some of these cases. A good book is written by Zia Modi called 20 Judgments That Changed India. Maybe that's again one edition that I have found is very useful. Then you read geography. Again, NCERT is something that is very important. Then एक छोटी सी एक और बुक आती है GC लियोंग करके, फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी. यू रीड दैट. एक माजुद हुसैन साहब की कुछ बुक्स हैं. इफ ज्योग्राफी का एक खुल्लर साहब, DR खुल्लर, उनकी एक और ज्योग्राफी है, इंडियन ज्योग्राफी. इट्स अ वेरी गुड बुक. एटलस आप ज़रूर ले लें जब भी आप ज्योग्राफी में कुछ चीज़ पढ़ें. यू आर रीडिंग अबाउट माउंटेन्स, यू आर रीडिंग अबाउट हिमालयाज, यू आर रीडिंग अबाउट इंडीज एंड रॉकीज. यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड, यू शुड नो अच्छा कहाँ पे है. दैट मेंटल पिक्चर, दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. और इसका एक पर्पज़ होता है. इसका पर्पज़ यही होता है, अगर आप रिसेंटली जब ये दे मस्ट बी न्यूज़ में आपने काफ़ी लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा, IMTEC, इंडिया मिडल ईस्ट ट्रेड कॉरिडोर. ओके, आपने चाइना का जो CPEC वगैरह इस सब के बारे में पढ़ा होगा. नाउ इफ यू लुक एट, जस्ट ओपन द मैप, वर्ल्ड मैप, एंड यू कैन ऑल दिस मेक अ यू नो दे बिकम मीनिंगफुल टू यू. ऐसा लगता है कि क्या कॉरिडोर का मतलब क्या है, what is the purpose CPEC. Then you see what are how the geography has shaped trade relations. You read about ocean currents, you read about climate change, but so geography mein again it's very important to have that have maps, have clarity on the maps कि कहाँ पे है. हम लोग इस समय for example J&K के context में we talk about north of Pir Panchal, south of Pir Panchal security situation में. Now what is this talk of north of Pir Panchal and south of Pir Panchal? What's it that separates the two? So this geography, understanding geography from that perspective is really important. So exam में भी ऐसे questions आते हैं. वहाँ वो जो है रट्टे वाली चीज़ नहीं पूछी जाती है. Generally your questions are linked with this. I remember हम लोग जब मेंस लिख रहे थे तो एक पहला ही क्वेश्चन था हिस्ट्री में. इट वाज पानीपत में. वी ऑल हैव हर्ड ऑफ पानीपत, बैटल ऑफ पानीपत 1, 2, 3. नाउ what was so unique about पानीपत कि पानीपत की ही जंगें हो, वहाँ पे इतनी जंगें होती हैं which have actually redefined the course of Indian history. So then again the answer lies in a bit of geography, the answer lies in a bit of history. So इस तरीके से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं that you have to understand. Environment के लिए again you read your NCERTs. नितिन सिंघानिया जी की एक that's art and culture. So art and culture is again very important. There's a book by Nitin Singhania that you can read. Polity में Nitin ji has also written a very good book, Indian polity. It's in fact he has taken it beyond where Lakshmi Kant ji had left it. So that you should again read. Economy extremely important. So अक्सर क्या होता है, I have seen this, experienced it personally, experienced it with my other friends. हम लोग साथ में जब बहुत सारे लोग एक साथ में तैयारी कर रहे थे. So there's one pattern that you see. There are some people, they would start, आज सेमिनार में गए, now you are fully charged and pumped. तो कल 24 घंटे में से 22 घंटे सिर्फ पढ़ाई करनी है. So there's a peak. Then after 2 days it fizzles down and it is gone. फिर आप 1 घंटा भी नहीं पढ़ते. एग्जाम के लिए one thing that is really important, that is consistency. अगर आप 10 घंटे निकाल पाते हैं, you have to read the 10 hours. 5 घंटे निकाल पाते हैं, you have to ensure that you are reading that. The kind of infrastructure I have seen here in CCPC, trust me, इंडिया में कहीं इतना इस प्रकार का एक जगह पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है. नॉट इवन बिग यूनिवर्सिटीज. बहुत बच्चे जाते हैं, बाहर जाते हैं, बड़ा कंपटीशन, एग्जाम लिखने के बाद भी इस तरीके का माहौल, इस तरीके का लाइब्रेरी, इस तरीके का क्लासरूम सेटअप, इस तरीके की जो है हॉस्टल फैसिलिटी, इस तरीके का सेटअप नहीं है. आई थिंक इट वुड बी, ये बहुत ही बदकिस्मती होगी बच्चों के लिए अगर इस फैसिलिटी की वजह से यहाँ से हर साल कम से कम 20, 25, 30 सिविल सर्वेंट्स ना निकले. एंड फ्रेंकली मैं ये सिर्फ कहने के लिए नहीं कह रहा हूँ, मैं आई जस्ट डू दिस कैलकुलेशन विथ मी। दिल्ली जाओ, यू टेक कोई भी नॉर्मल रूम भी लोगे, 15,000 इज द कॉस्ट ऑफ द रूम। रूम में फिर गर्मी बहुत ज़्यादा है तो एसी लगाओगे तो आपको महीने का 2,000-3,000 रुपये एसी का बिल आएगा। 15,000 प्लस 3,000 18,000, कम से कम 500-1,000 रुपये आपको बिस्लरी की वो बड़ी बॉटल जिसमें पानी आपको आएगा। कोई सफाई करने के लिए कोई लेडी वेडी आएगी बिकॉज विल बी बिजी, तो उसको भी आपको महीने में 500-600 रुपये 700 रुपये देने पड़ेंगे। देन रीडिंग रूम ज्वाइन करोगे, कम से कम 5,000-4,000 रुपये। रीडिंग रूम बेसमेंट में होगा जहाँ सीलन पड़ी होगी और इतनी सी जगह होगी आपके पास, सर के ऊपर लाइट होगी, आप आंख भी नहीं उठा पाओगे, लेफ्ट राइट भी नहीं देख पाओगे। वो 4,000 रुपये वो ले लेगा। हाउ मच इज दैट? 25,000। ठीक है, फिर आप क्लास नाउ लेट्स टेक दिस एज 25,000। फिर आप की बुक्स खुद खरीदनी पड़ेंगी। ऑब्वियसली यू डोंट हैव अ लाइब्रेरी देयर। रीडिंग रूम इज रीडिंग रूम, दे जस्ट गिव यू अ टेबल एंड अ चेयर एंड अ लिटिल लाइट देयर। फिर खाने का टिफिन भी लगाओगे, वो भी कम से कम 5,000-6,000 रुपये महीने का लेना पड़ेगा। हाउ मच इज दैट? 30,000 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 10 months, 3 लाख 3.5 लाख रुपीज। फिर ट्रैवल, यहाँ से दिल्ली भी जाओगे, वापस भी आओगे, एंड यू विल बी कैरिंग योर बुक्स। फ्लाइट में जाओगे 20 किलो अलाउड होता है, ठीक है, सो यू विल बी कैरिंग 3 bags इन योर कैबिन एंड 1 big bag इन योर दिस। फिर वहाँ पे झगड़ा होगा, वहाँ पे एयरलाइन वाले रोकेंगे, फाइन लगाएंगे 5,000 रुपये का, एक्स्ट्रा आने जाने में देना पड़ेगा। फिर दिल्ली जाओगे, बकेट खरीदना पड़ेगा आपको, मग खरीदना पड़ेगा आपके लिए, खुद के लिए प्लेट खरीदनी पड़ेगी, चाय वाय कभी बनाओगे केटल खरीदनी पड़ेगी, कप्स खरीदने पड़ेंगे, ग्लास खरीदना पड़ेगा। सो इफ यू लुक एट द काइंड, दिस इज अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर क्लासेस। देन यू गो टू कोचिंग क्लासेस, फिर वो भी कम से कम 2 लाख रुपए तो वो भी कोर्स के ले लेंगे। फिर आप बुक्स खरीदोगे, फिर आप स्टडी मटेरियल खरीदोगे, फिर आप टेस्ट सीरीज अलग से ज्वाइन करोगे, क्योंकि अच्छी जगह करोगे तो 35,000 रुपये 40,000 रुपये वो टेस्ट सीरीज के लेंगे। ऑल ऑफ दैट फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट हियर, एंड दैट टू इन सच अ लवली एनवायरमेंट। हाउ मच इज दैट? और खुदा गवाह मैं सच कह रहा हूं, ये बदकिस्मती होगी अगर यहाँ से बच्चे क्लासेस छोड़ो, अगर सिर्फ खुद सेल्फ स्टडी करके भी अगर वो कम से कम 20, 25, 30 बच्चे हर साल यहाँ से IAS करके नहीं निकले।
I am really very happy that I am coming to this place of India, which is crown of India. The kind of oxygen, the kind of water quality you are having, this place is bringing me here again and again in last 1 year. And I got opportunity, especially in last 1 or 2 year time, to guide some of the students from this place. And a little experience of more than 15 years, from every nook and corner of the country I have guided civil service aspirant. The kind of intellect, you know that you are born with some grey matter. आपके पास एक DNA की स्ट्रेंथ भी है और एक आपके पास एक्सपोजर भी है। सो जब मेरी यहाँ के स्टूडेंट से बात हुई तो मेरे अंदर इतना ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन आया कि अथर आमिर साहब तो आपके सामने बैठे हैं, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि कितने और अथर आमिर साहब जैसी सक्सेस यहाँ पे हो सकती हैं। एक जिम्मेदारी के साथ में कि कल आज यहाँ पे अथर आमिर साहब हैं, कल आप होंगे जो कि अपने सो कॉल्ड यंगर्स को गाइड करने के लिए आएंगे। आपके मन में, आपके शरीर में, आपके फिजियोलॉजिकली बॉडी में ये हार्मोन यदि इवोक होते हैं मेरे इन वर्ड्स से, तो मेरा यहाँ पे आना बिल्कुल सक्सेसफुल हो जाएगा। एक टीचर होना अपने आप में, जब आप टीचर बनते हैं तो एक गर्व की बात तब हो जाती है जब आप ये डिस्कवर करते हैं कि मैं एनाटॉमिकली, मेरा ब्रेन इस हॉबी को कहीं ना कहीं ढूंढ रहा था, लेकिन बचपन से डॉक्टर बनना, इंजीनियर बनना, एक ब्यूरोक्रेट बनना, यही बताया गया था सोसाइटी में। लेकिन समवेयर डाउन द लाइन कंटेंटमेंट इज ऑल्सो देयर, एंड आई फाइनली डिस्कवर्ड दिस हॉबी कि ये टीचिंग करने के बाद खास 6 to 7 आवर्स और 10 आवर्स तक पढ़ाने के बाद मुझे दिन में जो संतुष्टि मिलती है, रात में जो अच्छी स्लीप मुझे मिलती है, उसकी कोई प्राइस नहीं है। इफ़ आई गो फर्दर, जब यहाँ पे आ रहा था तो एक इंक्विजिटिवनेस, बिकॉज मैं भी एक लाइफ टाइम स्टूडेंट हूँ, मुझे सीखने की आदत है, तो मैं कुछ नाम जैसे यहाँ पे पोस्टर पे लिखे हुए हैं, मैं अल्मा इकबाल लाइब्रेरी एंड इब्न खालदून ऑडिटोरियम एंड इस कश्मीर यूनिवर्सिटी के बारे में कुछ देख रहा था। प्री इंडिपेंडेंस टाइम से लेकर इसने बहुत अच्छा ट्रैवल किया है और इसका आज की डेट में जो एरिया है अराउंड, जो मुझे समझ में आया 274 एकड़्स के अराउंड है। एंड ये नाम भी बड़े ख़ास लोगों के लिए हुए हैं। अल्मा का मैं मतलब पढ़ पाया लर्नड और स्कॉलर, जो बाद में 2002 में ऐड हुआ, और उनके बारे में तो सभी को पता है। और उनकी जो लाइनें हैं, जब हमारे में मोटिवेशन मन में कम होता है तो उन लाइनों को हम हमेशा दोहराते रहते हैं कि खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि yes, so I wanted to hear it from you, half of it, so that goes like this. Now I think आपको इब्न खालदून साहब का भी पता ही होगा, मैंने उनके बारे में भी काफ़ी देखा था, एक हिस्टोरियन एंड एक इंटेलेक्ट। तो ये एक ग्रेटिट्यूड उन लोगों को जाता है और एक मोटिवेशन आपके लिए आता है कि आप इस ट्रेडिशनल वे को आगे ले जाएं, अपनी सक्सेस के रूप में मैनिफेस्ट करें कहीं ना कहीं। Now coming back to the civil service strategies and approach, I think अथर आमिर साहब, जिन्होंने बहुत टेंडर एज में इस एग्ज़ाम को क्रैक किया और एक मिसाल तो बनाई। उससे पहले जब मैं इनके इंट्रोडक्शन को देख रहा था तो मुझे एक चीज़ और पता चली कि ये यंग साइंटिस्ट के रूप में भी चुने गए थे। एक साइंटिस्ट मुझे जो एक रोल मॉडल के रूप में आज की डेट में समझ में आता है, क्योंकि मैं एथिक्स बच्चों को पढ़ाता हूँ, तो मेरे जो पर्सनल रोल मॉडल हैं वो हैं डॉक्टर कलाम। वो भी एक साइंटिस्ट थे और बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी थी कि पूरी ज़िंदगी भर एक मिसाइल मैन के रूप में बने, और डॉक्ट्राइन ऑफ नो फर्स्ट यूज़ को भी उन्होंने दिया। आई थिंक डॉक्ट्राइन ऑफ नो फर्स्ट यूज़ को आप समझते होंगे कि मिसाइल में पहला वार हम नहीं करेंगे, हम अपने डिफेंस के लिए हमेशा दुरुस्त रहेंगे। सो दिस इज़ अ बैलेंसिंग पॉइंट, जहाँ पे बुद्धा ने भी मिडिल बात की है, गोल्डन मीन, जो हमेशा हमें अपने आप को रखना चाहिए। ना जब मैं इस लाइब्रेरी में बैठ के बात करता हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा रिमाइंड होता है कि कितने एस्पिरेंट्स यहाँ पर 24/7 जब ये खुली रहती है तो पढ़ते होंगे। सी, आफ्टर डूइंग द ग्रेजुएशन you guys are going for the career, right? Family responsibilities are there. You need to establish your identity also, right? And you don't want to be dependent for more a number of years on the parents, and you want to do something good for your parents, right? And for that some economic source is there, respectable one. Now this civil service exam preparation is very easy for those people who are coming from good family background. Their mother, father can, arrange the things in Delhi and here in Jammu and Kashmir. But sometimes it is hard for those people who are coming from those background wherein it is really not that easy or maybe very hard. And in that sense, I would like to really thank to this CCPC initiative that they have come up with this residential coaching program, because going to Delhi and preparing for this exam for more than 12 months is not that easy. Costly affair, very costly affair, and that water quality and oxygen quality is very, very you know what to say about it. 10 days back there was a barrage jam and some nook and corner of Delhi suffered because of no water supply was there. So sometimes a student who are not knowing anything about this Delhi, no relative is also there, so it is very precarious situation for them. Now here in Jammu and Kashmir, you think that you should go for the civil service preparation, who are very doubtful to take it up. I will like to say that, see, in this young age you think that I should be gifted one bike or one car by my dad because my peer group is having that, and I'm saying that it is good, because in this age, if you will not be having that hormone, in old age, definitely some different hormones will be there. But some wise options you look at. This bike will be of 1 lakh rupees or more, or car if it will be of 5 lakh rupees. It will be requiring petrol, and for God's sake, this should not happen. Some accident or something like that will happen, and it may be stolen someday. Invest this 1 lakh rupees in this mother of all the examination. Mother is very easy to be understood. Believe me, this exam which is based on NCRT, which exam is based on Delhi's newspapers, which were read by your mother, father, and you were also reading it. It's very easy exam if you take it seriously. And you look at this UPSC notification, it is not requiring you to have 60% mark. Meticulously, it is saying that just above average. You above average, understand? You understand? 45%. And I think here people are sitting, must be having more than that. I know some of the people who secured very high rank, right? And they had 45% in their graduation. 45% only. Because this exam requires those people who understand simple thing. And to understand simplicity, it is not that easy. Dr. Kalam was understanding simplicity a lot, right? And here, I think Athar Amir Saab's age was also in early 20s when he cleared this examination. You understand that? So if it is hard, then definitely such result is not there by those people. But definitely I would like to say, some days when I was also looking at this exam, some very senior teacher told me that my study says that bank clerk exam is one of the hardest exam when it comes to time test, when it comes to time frame which has been plotted. So I want that whether here or at any other place, you should give this exam a chance. You should give a chance to teacher like me who are having hunger to sit with you, to talk to you, to just welcome you after your family. Like I cannot be your mother and father, they are next to none. But I would like to shoulder that responsibility to the level best that I can, because my hobby is only teaching. My wife, my children, my child, he is very young. So they all go for some of the demand. But my demand to be happy, to transfer that happiness to my family comes from the student. And I am helpless in that. God has made me like that. And I am connected to those faculties. In last 15 years, I developed friendship with many people who are having the same mental frame, who are having same frame of references, who are diehard to connect with these students. So this is what I am saying. And another thing, that if you are going for this examination, then another thing in your mind is that if you are not selected, then what will happen? You see, around 7 to 8 lakh students are filling the form. And out of that, 3 lakhs are giving the exam, 3 to 4 lakhs as far as stats goes. 50 to 60% only. And after that, serious aspirants are not more than 1 lakh. And then out of that 1 lakh, only 10,000, if 10,000 or 1,000 vacancies are there, 10 to 11,000 are selected to write the mains if you have cleared the prelims. And then after that, 3 to 4,000 are selected for interview. For one seat, 3 to 4 people are selected by UPSC. Only in Corona time, only less than 3 people were selected because of some of the exigencies. So 3 to 4 people are selected, and out of that, and you remember that those people, 3 to 4 people, out of 3, 1 is selected, but those 2 are not rejected. This exam is of selection. You understand? Selection. It is saying that you are not rejected. If you are rejected, then in first attempt you are rejected altogether. It is not like a PABT exam. PABT, Pilot Aptitude Battery Test, which happens for once, and you pass it or you fail it. An aircraft cannot be given to you because you have been bestowed upon by God with certain level of limbs coordination, hand and eye movement, So fighter pilot and other people. So this exam is an achievement test. It is not a performance test. Performance test you cannot help. God has given you whatever, you should accept it. But this exam is like that. If you might have heard the name Kalidas. There was a lady Vidyutma, right? In UPSC is very important, Vidyutma. Because of that challenge, he developed intellect, and he decided to be an intellect, at a very not tender age. And then he established an identity. So achievement test simply means you come here, you learn, and then you achieve, and then you pass. This UPSC exam is that exam wherein you should prepare so that any other thing that you do in your life, your references are very high. References, you understand? If you want to dance, so Dance India Dance is your reference point. Your mother, father will not be supporting you initially to be a dancer. Your reference points are very, very high. I may recall the photographer hobby of Three Idiot person. One of that person was there. What was the name of that person? Farhan. So that father, mother, they were scolding him like anything. But finally, he convinced, and then he was very happy. The balance was there as far as the economy goes, as far as his contentment and personal life satisfaction goes. Now, another point is coming that if I have decided to prepare for this mother of all the examination, then which way I should go? I should be in Jammu and Kashmir, or my friend has gone to Delhi, and in that peer pressure, in that competition, I should go to Delhi. Some words I will say, and some word I will like to. I'll request Athar Amir Saab to speak about it. But yeah, as far as my experience goes, here, if in India, if I choose some place to live permanently, Srinagar, nearby place is that place wherein I would like to spend most of the time. You are living in heaven, right? And preparing here for civil services exam, this weather, this oxygen, this water is giving you extra leeway to push your limits to go for more than 10 hours study per day. Otherwise, you will be suffering in polluted environment like any other place. I am not talking about Delhi, at any other place, right? Maybe your mother, father are living at any other place. So certain places are very, very good wherein you should choose those places to study. But yes, after that there comes a mentor. Mentor and faculty, there is a difference. If in Delhi I am sitting, I am taking the class, so this is the class size, and after 10 minutes I have to go to another class. 10 minutes time I am having to take tea, to take water, and to take some food because my stomach is empty. And students are here like 20 to 25, they want to ask the doubt because their doubt will be evaporated. This is just software. They have heard me and they have doubt. If their doubt is not demystified that moment only, then it will not be coming again. I am helpless. But if I am coming here, my only greed is that I will be able to spend quality time in this oxygen environment and will like to be connect with the student. And then only 1 or 2 batches there. I am having 1 hour time sufficiently to talk to the students. And then I can mentor them. Mentoring, you understand? If in a group, you guys are standing and if you ask me, sir, there is an emotional problem. Do you think or do I think or do anyone think here that you will be able to ask this question when other students are also standing? No. You will come in person. Sir, I want to talk to you one-to-one. And I am expected to give at least 5 to 10 minutes to you. Right? Emotional management is part of this civil service exam preparation. 30% only goes for the content, 30% goes for your optional and GS studies. Rest 60% are the other tensions, other distractions of your age as well as emotions coming from your family. Right? Your health management. If your health is good, 10 hours curve you will be able to maintain. 10 hours curve, it's easy to say, but it's actually 12 hours. If you are giving 12 hours, then only you will be able to manage 1 or 2 day gap in between. You will be able to look after other things. So, and 10 hours, if you look at it entire day, oh God, 10 hours, no. You have to see only 3 movies in a day, 3 movies of studies. 3 hours in the morning after your breakfast or something like that, from 10 to 1. And then after lunch you sleep. From 2:30 to 5:30 if you sit, then another 3 hours, that becomes 6 hours. And after that, you please take tea, snacks, and again go for a study. maybe 7 to 10, and then you go for your dinner, and then you read some newspaper and see some programs. And this is how you spend your day without pressurizing you physiologically and psychologically. I hope you understood the entire concept of civil service exam easily. And in last I would like to say कि आज की डेट में हम लोगों के पास कैमरा होता है और हम लोग अच्छे अच्छे फ़ोटो निकालते हैं, लेकिन कुछ सीनियर लोग भी बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पे, उनसे भी मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि देखो, सेल्फी निकालना जो है वो सेकंडों का काम है, वक्त तो इमेज बनाने में लगता है.